Hello, I'm Benoit Dardenne. I work at the Walloon Federation of Agriculture here in Gembloux. More specifically, I work at the CGTA, the Center for Agricultural Management and Techniques. Within the CGTA, I'm more specialized in accounting and management issues and advice on investment and installation files. We are here in Corroy-le-Grand, near Gembloux, on the Eck Brothers farm because it represents a typical farm in the Walloon region, which is composed of mixed farming, meat and dairy farming. Welcome to Corroy-le-Château, our family farm. We run the farm together, my brother Stéphane and myself, François Hubert. We have a mixed farm, polyculture and livestock. We do arable farming, white-blue cattle, and dairy farming. What we mean by family farming here in the Walloon region is the farmer and his family who work on the farm, provide the capital, who invest in the farm, and who draw their income from it. As far as the history of the farm is concerned, it was our grandfather who arrived here just after the war in 1946. Dad and his brother came back to the farm in the 1970s, and we took over in the 90s. The farm has constantly evolved. That's a rule for any business. Any business that doesn't evolve eventually disappears, and that's the case in our sector too. At the moment, we are in a crucial period where there are not many young people who want to take over, and there are many farmers who are coming to the end of their careers. The average size of farms in the Walloon region is around 57 hectares. They include 50% cattle, 25% cereals, 8% maize, 5% beetroot, 5% potatoes, and the rest being crops such as flax, peas, and some vegetables. We have a farm of about 150 hectares. I make more decisions for the crops, and Stéphane more for the livestock. I've always been the one who looks after the calves. He looks after the mixing machine. So it's important not to say, yeah, I thought you did it, but you didn't do it. Like most farms in the Walloon region, the Van Eck Brothers farm is what we call a soil-based farm, in the sense that the feed for livestock, essentially the fodder, is produced on the farm. We try as much as possible to care for our animals with feed produced on the farm. We produce maize. We have quite a lot of grassland that we try to mow as much as possible between the first and second cuts in general. In general, we do 3 or 4 cuts, but these last few years, with the droughts, it's not possible. As far as effluents are concerned, we also try to spread them over our land. When we are short of straw, we exchange straw manure and straw slurry with our neighbors, but without going too far, staying nearby. You have to give something to the land so that it can produce. And on a farm like this, we have a balance between livestock and land that is quite good. This notion of connection to the soil is also particularly important in the context of greenhouse gas emissions. It is important to know that at the global level, specialists say that agriculture is responsible for approximately 25% of greenhouse gas emissions. In the Walloon region, this level is 13%. That is to say, practically half of what exists at the global level. And if this rate is 13%, it is essentially because of the strong presence of grassland in the Walloon region. Like any job, we love what we do. There are days when we love it less than others, like everyone else, but in general, we're passionate. It's a very diversified job. There are no 2 days in a row where you do the same thing. Of course there are needs that are regular, but aside from those regular things, there are never 2 days that are the same. So sometimes you think, is there anything I haven't done yet? And sometimes you think, another new job to do? It's not possible. Despite the fact that the majority of farms in the Walloon region are relatively diversified, there are nevertheless fairly significant regional specializations, particularly in the south of the country. So the Ardennes, the Upper Ardennes, and the Liège region have around 80 to 90% grassland, and therefore 80 to 90% cattle, bearing in mind that the Ardennes is more like 80% cows, and the Upper Ardennes has around 80 to 90% dairy farms. And then there are the regions in the north of Wallonia, the Limal, which are polyculture-type farms, and in this type of farm we find barely 50% of farms raising cattle. It is also in these farms that we find the biggest diversity of crops, cereals, potatoes, outdoor vegetables. It is also this part of the Walloon region that we find the most horticultural farms, since the soil and climate conditions allow this type of farming in this area. And it is also a question of the clientele that is more abundant in these regions.